G'day fishers. Yes, there's a bit of activity around us. Not everywhere, but we just got a hot report from Dartmouth Dam, some people who live up that way, and early morning, yeah, flatline trolling's quite okay. This time of year in most of our trout dams, you've got to go with a lot of preparation. Go with lead line, or either lead line or downriggers or whatever, or willing to flatline as well, because they really mix it up this time of year, the trout do. It's just that in-between time from the warm down to the cold. You will work it out, I can assure you. It's just a matter of being on the water. Hume Weir. Oh, I don't know whether they're telling me stories or not down there, but my goodness gracious me, they're certainly catching some redfin still. It's fired up big time still. Getting the odd yellow, the odd cod, but not much. Everybody's focused on the redfin, which is fantastic, because some of the reddies are quite reasonable size. You'll get a good feed without too much trouble at all. Didn't get any reports from a while, but I reckon it'll be okay. Didn't have a chance to give them a ring down there, but I'm assuming it's all right. I think you'll find that a bit of trolling with, spinner baits and that sort of thing, shallower running lures, like something that's a metre and a half, working around the edge of the timber. It's not super deep down there. I'd be working the shallow flats more so than the deep channels. I think you'd have a bit of success. Murrumbidgee River, how good's that? Hey, very, very special. Plenty on bait. Getting a few reasonable sized cod, or more than they have been over the last couple of months. This time of year is pretty standard for getting a few bigger fish. Certainly getting a fair few little fellas and a few trout cod mixed in with them, that sort of thing. Not getting many yellow belly, but I have to tell you, there's not too many people fishing for yellows at the moment. They're all targeting cod because they're an easy option, which is great. I have no issues with that. If you want to catch a yellow, you've got to target them. Fresh shrimp, if you can get hold of them, is probably the best bait for a yellow belly. Scrub worms aren't too bad. Fishing close to the bank, you should do okay. So yeah, the Bidgie from Gundagai all the way down to Narendra basically, but down to Berrinbed up to Gundagai is probably the safest bet, simply because the water level's a bit more consistent there. Chermit River. As we're doing this report, it's only about 2,500 megs coming out. Very good option to go and fish the Chermit River. Fly fishing's quite good there at the moment. Nymph fishing's better than dry fly. You'll get a few on dry, but look, it's not a great dry fly river anymore, but certainly worth the effort. Nymphing, can't beat it. Drifting worms, flicking little lures around, little Yakimuto blades, Lunker City 2-inch plastics in the grub stuff. Can't beat them. They're very good for the Chermit River. Blowering, disappointing. Yes, it does get called lake disappointment, but I still rate it as the best dam in the country, but it's also the hardest. But I tell you now, it's really quietened down over the last week and a half to 2 weeks. A little bit of activity there. You're going to have to look hard to find schools of reddies, but you will find them. The odd cod coming out, the odd yellow, but it's certainly not fishing like we'd expect it to. Getting some really, really good fish out of Junimar. Off the bank with bait, some nice redfin, flicking a few lures around, getting some good fish on lures, so it's looking promising. Talbingo, nice reddies out of there. Yukonbean, Jindabyne, Tentangra, mediocre reports. They're certainly not going crazy. Getting a little bit of activity, like you wouldn't believe, out of Wangler. How good is that place? A lot of big cod, not many small ones. A lot of big cod at the moment. Mainly bait fishing seems to be the way to go. Plenty of yellows, soft plastics, bait doesn't seem to matter. Shrimp if you can get hold of them. Burrinjuck, still plenty of algae, not much action there. And I probably wouldn't expect it until that algae clears up. So as you can see, plenty of activity around us. Compleat Anglers Fishing Report for this week. We'll catch you next week.